Okay, so in this video, I want to talk to you about two spray bottles. This is a 32 ounce. I mean, honestly, I don't know. It's just a spray trigger with a 32 ounce bottle. This is just water. I'm gonna demonstrate everything with water here. And then a 56 ounce or 56 ounce pump sprayer versus a handle trigger. Now, I purchased both of these locally. I think I actually purchased the triggers online a while back, but you can easily find both of these types of pump sprayers like at Home Depot, Lowe's, or another good place to check at is your local janitorial or carpet cleaning supply store. They'll have a lot of these chemicals and sprayers and triggers as well. So check those areas before you kind of purchase online, because you could find these locally. But I'll still put some Amazon links down below. That way you can just see the style of it. But I mean, you should be able to find these. I don't know if cheaper, but you can definitely find them locally instead of ordering them online. So in this video, I want to show you the difference in between like when you should use what bottle. There is a difference in where you should use them. Where it's like kind of a diminishing return and you're just kind of wasting more product and being useful, and where and why I use them in different areas. So that's what you'll be learning in this video. So for the longest, and by the longest I mean at least the last 3 years, I've only used the 32 ounce spray bottle with the trigger here that you actually pull. Now these are one of the most common triggers you'll find. I don't remember the price, so don't ask, just check online, or I'll check after this and I'll post the links down below. So this is probably the most common one that you see. Now I've seen many people complain that the trigger gives out rather quickly, where like just the whatever, how it's built, it's cheap or whatever, so they'll like either the trigger will break, it'll start leaking. Personally, me, I have not had trouble with this spray trigger. I mean, I've had some for years now and it's still like working absolutely fine. It's still, so, and this one I haven't been using that much, but like the other ones that I have, I've been using them for years, and I mean, I have had no issue with them. Of course, I don't completely bang it every single time I pull the trigger. I don't like completely, pull it all the way to the back and then some, because I'm sure, that accelerates its life in terms of it deteriorating. But I have no complaints over this. There's plenty of spray nozzles that you can choose of, like that are the trigger kind. But I haven't really tested that many. Again, I just buy what works. If it works, I'm gonna stick with it. No reason to change. So for the longest, and this is what most people use. Now, when you're just slightly spraying it, like maybe like quickly spraying down a panel or something, not that big of a deal. Where it comes into, for one, is if you're doing this as a business and you're doing multiple cars, you'll eventually see that, okay, pulling this trigger so many times, like if you're doing both the interior and exterior, it can get tiring, and it will like fatigue your forearm a little bit because you're just out there consistently pulling the trigger. So this does work. It's great because you can change the settings here, so it can go from, if you close it all the way, it'll go from straight, let's see if you can see that, a straight little sniper shot, and then as you open it up or close it more, it'll start fanning out more. Oh, don't want to get in the camera. It'll start fanning out more and closing it. Now, if you open it too much, it will leak. Let's see if you can see that without me spraying the camera. It is leaking if you open it too much, but honestly, you should not have it open that much. So this is a very good, I do recommend it. Again, I use it so many times, again, for the last 3 years on wheels, tires, when I'm gonna clay, when I'm cleaning the seat. So I've used it for a very long time. It does its job, but now let me talk about the pump sprayer. Now, this is a Flowmaster. There's so many options. I don't even know any of them. This is just one I bought. It was like 12 bucks, I think, 15 bucks. So this one, same thing. It's still gonna have that adjustable nozzle here to adjust the, let me pump it up, to adjust the fan. Now with this one on the spray nozzle, again, it's just as adjustable. But the thing with this one is you have to have a lot of pressure in here in order for it to come out very precise. If you don't have that much pressure in here, if you don't have enough pressure, then the fan is just gonna come out kind of not as specific as it can. So if you have this much liquid left, then you're gonna have to pump a lot to make sure you're getting that precise spray out. Because if you're not, if there's a little bit of liquid in there and then you don't have that much pressure, it's not gonna come out as accurate of a fan as it can, because you just don't have the pressure there. So why do I use this one over that one, or why do you use the spray nozzle against the pump? So first, let me show you the difference in the actual sprayability, if that's even a word, between the two. Okay, so now I'm just gonna demonstrate these two. Now remember, in order for the pump sprayer, you have to have one, enough liquid in there, and then two, enough pressure in there. So this is like, filled more than halfway up, and it's pumped to as best as it can get. So this is both on the straight nozzle, like on the little sniper setting. So this is what I get here, and then this is what I get here. Now, obviously, as far as spraying, like which one do I get more output out of in a shorter time frame without exhausting as much energy? Clearly, this one is much less work in terms of just holding it down and getting the area saturated. So imagine that's like a wheel, tire, claying, a seat. Clearly, you're gonna have to pull the trigger way more on this one to get the same amount of spray than just simply by holding it down. Now the problem with that though is that depending on what you're cleaning, for instance, I clean seats and the cloth and floor mats with this. So I'll open up the nozzles on both ends. So this is how that looks, and this is how this looks. Now the problem again is you always have to have enough pressure in there, or else it's not going to come out as effective. And at that point, if there's not enough pressure in there, it's better to just use the trigger, because you don't have to keep on pumping it. So in this one, when I'm cleaning just about anything, you will dispense a lot more material, a lot more liquid through the spray nozzle, because it's so much easier to just pull the trigger and for liquid to come out as opposed to the trigger. So here, to get that same amount, I can just hold it, and it's going to be dispensing a lot more liquid through here, and I run out so much more as a whole when I'm using the pump sprayer versus the trigger. And that's across the board. Like one seat, like, how do I put this? Like, I could do a lot more with one 32-ounce bottle in an interior that I can with this 56-ounce, simply due to the fact that I'm able to dispense way more material, so I can cover more and I do it faster. But at the same time, because it's so much easier for it to dispense, I could just spray a lot more, get a lot more saturated, get the job done probably quicker, but I am dispensing more product out. Again, this is just water, but I am dispensing more product out with this one compared to the spray trigger. So I pump the pump sprayer again, and I'm gonna just hold the left trigger. I'm gonna just hold the pump sprayer, and then I'm gonna just keep on spraying with the trigger. As you can see, it's a lot more work to get the same amount of liquid out, or solution out. And again, a few minutes, not a big deal with the trigger. Once you're doing the exterior, then the interior, then the engine, and you're holding that trigger and you're pressing the trigger back and forth the entire time, it gets rather tiring. Now the next pump sprayer above this is that like pest control one, where it's a bigger size. Like I think it's like 3 gallons, 5 gallon size, and you hand pump it, and then you have the nozzle in your hand and you can spray it. Now that one I don't have, but I would reserve it. Just those, like those really big ones where you can actually hand pump it. I would reserve those just for the wheels and tires, the exterior or the engine. The interior, because you're most likely going to be, and like if you're doing if you're steam cleaning or extracting the seats and floor mats and carpeting, that depending on like the type of vehicle it is and like how much room you have, or like just the design of it, it might be too big to fit the entire pump spray in there. Again, I haven't personally used it, so I wouldn't be able to tell you an accurate experience on that. But just from using this and then thinking about upgrading to like an actual pump sprayer, the bigger size, it just doesn't seem ideal for the interior, because again, if it's like on a 3-seater and you're trying to go all the way to the back, you're not gonna haul that thing with you. On a small vehicle like on a sedan, I mean, it's just like it's kind of overkill in my opinion. Again, I haven't personally used it, but that's just my assumptions as of now. I would use this. I do use this all the time now when I'm specifically cleaning the seats and floor mats, and if I have enough left in there, I'll go ahead and touch with the door panels with this as well. But when I'm actually cleaning the dashboard, the center console, or any real tight areas, I'll switch over to the 32-ounce spray bottle with trigger, because I can be more accurate. With this one, I don't have to be pumping as much. And usually when I'm switching over to the door panels or the dashboard, this won't have that much cleaner in there anymore. So I'd rather just use a 32-ounce, be more specific, and have a full-size 32-ounce bottle instead of trying to refill this and not even use much of it. So if it's engine, possibly, and I only put my APC 10-1 in here. So if I was gonna do clay lube, if I was gonna use it as my clay bottle, I would use another bottle. That way I don't mix it too at all. I'd use another spray bottle for the clay lube. But other than that, this is definitely a great tool. They both have their pros and cons. I think these overall are just gonna be more expensive for obvious reasons than the 32-ounce spray bottle. So I would definitely just get 1 or 2 of these and get the spray bottles and the triggers. Get more of those than these, because again, these just run more expensive. You only need to fill these with the most used product, right? Like if you're using like a something you don't really use, right? Like it could be any product, whatever product you use. If it's not being heavily used, you don't need to carry it in a big bottle. You can even carry it in a 16 ounce bottle if it's not used that much. So 32 ounce bottle for all common products, 54 or 64, however much this is, 56 ounces for the heavily used ones, and then 16 for the ones that you don't really use or that you need like a second product for but don't want to carry another 32 ounce. Have one common 32 ounce bottle and then have a 16 ounce of that same product, just in a smaller bottle. Because it depends on the vehicle size, on how many vehicles you do per day, and how consistently do you have to keep on refilling those products. But yes, overall, really quick, highly recommended. Interiors, cloth seats. I don't really use it for leather. That's what when I'm working on leather, I just use the hand spur, because I need to be able to manage the liquid a lot more on leather seats, because I don't want it to drip too much and then stain anything. So again, yeah, cloth seats, material engine, exterior wheels, tires, great for it. It does dispense more product than the 32 ounce bottle, so just be aware that you will be going through more product when you use this, or even the pump spur, as I can only imagine it's even worse than this. And with the 32 ounce bottle, have most of your products in this size, and use this for just about anything else that needs to be more specific and more accurate with your sprays. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Pretty simple. Leave any comments, questions, feedback to chat down below. Again, I've only used the 32 ounce bottle and that pump spray. I use the hand one a bit when I help other people, but like personally, like in my vehicle, I use it all the time. I have not, so I can't give like an accurate, specific example of that. Other than that, I'll see you on the next one.